Hi there, it's Nick here, and thank you for being on here, and thank you for being on this page. Now, a lot of people ask me, and they say, Nick, what's actually involved in the strategy session? I'm not quite sure. I'm a business owner. I'm looking to grow my business, or I've got some issues that I need to look after with the business. And they say, well, I know that you're offering the strategy session, but what's involved? So, guess what? I thought I'd map it all out for you, right, in this quick video, so you can get a good feel for what it's about. And then if you're happy with what you see, then we can take that next level. Sound good? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip to another camera and then come back to you right at the end. All right, here we go. So the first thing is I believe that there's three areas. Now, most of you guys can see here. So there's three areas that we need to look at in any business. Here's where I would start. Number one, I believe there's some platforms that we need to grow from, right? Now, securing the platform is absolutely important, right? So, in other words, I really want to make sure that I've got a really good solid foundation, as you can see. Now, in saying that, in order for us to understand what type of business that we're building, well, first of all, we need to ensure that we set up a process that I've made this word up and I've called it visionary. And basically, it's two parts. Number one, what's going to happen in the next 12 to 18 months in your business? What are three clear objectives that we need to start building this platform and the securing part of the business? What are the three objectives that we need to reach over the next 12 to 18 months? And we could call them goals. Now, from there, then obviously it goes into 3 years and then it goes into 5 years, right? So same, right? So we really want to, start to get clear about what the main objective is, and that's the vision. So you might, in the vision, you want to know how much money that you want to make, right? You want to understand maybe where the business is at, what type of growth that we're looking at, what type of, I'm going to, draw this here, what type of organizational chart, system, process do you want to have in around the organization itself, right? Very, very important. You want to know what type of key personnel that you're going to, start to build towards. Now, remember, this is a vision. Can the vision change? The answer is yes. But what's really good about this, at least we've got somewhere that we can start to create. Now, let's say today, as an example, you're at $1 million at a business, and you're, at say 20% gross profit with about 8% net, give or take. And this is very common in businesses that are doing this type of turnover. Now, let's say for our goal, as an example, one of the key objectives is that you go to $2 million in the next 12 to 18 months. You increase the GP, say to 25% GP. That brings, maybe the net up to about 12+%, right? Give or take for the net. So now do you see I've got a clear indicator on where I'm heading. Now, the next part of the visioneering process is actually what's called the reverse engineering part. So what we do in every business is we look at and go, well, how do we start to grow roughly in 365, over a 365 period? How do we grow, every 90 days? And how do we set some key goals? And then how do we bring that down to monthly? So every single part of the business that we show you is absolutely, paint by the numbers and the step-by-step process. We don't like to do any guesswork. So what we do is we have three key goals for the year, three key goals every 90 days, and between 1 to 3 key goals every month that we can get to. Now, let me come back to you around the securing platform. Now, there's three stages that I like to build a business. First of all, we've gotten really clear about what the end objective is here. Number two is we want to secure or, create safety in the platform. Now, there's two ways that I can absolutely be sure. Number one is marketing. I need to have enough lead sources. Most businesses, if we're building a funnel, most businesses have got maybe one, maybe two lead sources. But what I want to do is we want to build multiple funnels and most importantly, have multiple lead sources. And this is a mix of offline, right? Depending on what type of business you are, and online. I mean, today through social media, there's a lot of different ways. And number one, I want to make sure that I've got a really clear message, who we are, what we do. I want to make sure that, I've got the right method of that delivery, and I want to get to the ideal marketplace. Very, very important. So securing the business is deploying different marketing activities, where it's going to be business to business or whether it's going to be business to consumer, depending on what you do. Now, most people go, well, I've got leads. Well, hey, I'm okay if you got leads, but what's your percentage? Can we incrementally improve this percentage. If you noticed from here, I went 20% GP to 25% GP. It's a 5% GP over a 12 to 18 month period. You can't literally put up your prices straight away. You need to slowly but surely begin that compounding effect, and incremental compounding is absolutely the way to go. Yep. So step one, we want to make sure that our marketing is good. If we haven't got the solid lead flow, I want to have at least, 3, 4, 5 different areas of where I'm bringing marketing. Alternatively, if my marketing's good, and I want to see how can I incrementally increase the marketing to be better. So I'm spending less and getting a better result. Why do I want marketing? I want you to think about it that this is a lifeline of a business. You could have the best business with the best systems, but if you don't have people, well, it's really, really difficult, right? Next part is sales. So in securing the business, I want to create what's called a 7-step sales process. And I want to create automation, right, that helps us increase, once again, the percentage of conversion. Now, as an example, if you've got a 10% conversion, how do I incrementally compound this to have a 13 or 14% conversion, which, 40% on 10 is actually a 40% increase. An extra 4% equals I've increased this by 40%, which is pretty awesome, right? So I want to make sure that we've got our marketing in check, and then our sales starting to grow. Very, very important. And you might say, well, Nick, I'm pretty good at selling, but I know that we can have a look at and create this better, much, much better. So throughout the session, we're going to be looking at some data that you're going to give us, and I'm going to ask you sales data questions on where you are today and how can I create this, right? So the first 90 days is literally about securing the business and making sure that we're building on a solid foundation. Now, step two, this is very important. It's, I believe, in systems. So now I've started to secure the business. Now I want to do systems. Now, systems are two things. Number one, it's, can they save me time? And number two, we become more efficient than what you have? So in your strategy session, we're going to be talking about efficiency. We're going to be talking about time management. And I want to run this within the first 180 days. This is where we're systemizing the business as well. So in other words, not only are we securing the business, but we're systemizing the business at the same stage, because I believe that time is money. Now, I want to ensure that I do a few things. Number one is within the first 90 days, I want to make sure that I'm at least saving you 1 day per week. This is where you get to do work on the business. You get to take time off. You do whatever you need to do. And then over the next 90 other days, right? So 180 days, I want to see if I can save you 2 days a week. How do I do that? Through systems. Now, there's a few different systems or ways that you can go about it. Where it comes to systems, I believe there needs to be two things. Number one, they need to be digital, because today it's the way to go. Back in the day, we used to have something like a standard operating, SOP manual, and that's okay, but it's a little bit outdated. So today I can do digital and I can create them all on video. We show you a complete process to do this. Number two is I want to use something like screen recording. So why? Because there's a lot of stuff that happens on the screen today. So we want to use the software, something like Loom that can record everything. Number three, we want to be able to use our mobile phone. A mobile connected with a CRM is very powerful, because now whether it's CRM or a project management software is very, very powerful. So now I'm looking at how do I save time through efficiency? How do I make sure that I'm efficient through levels of digital technology? So systems are very important. Why? Because I can make you more, I can free up more time and then increase your money, because time is money. Now, and then step three, that's really, really important, is how do we scale the business, right? Now, once I've, made sure that our marketing is really good, right? All of this is running nicely. We've got a really good conversion with automation in the business, our systems, and we operate systems, anything from internal operations through to external operations, through to customer connection, customer experience, supplier, right? Tradesperson that are in the field, or other employees, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff that we help you systemize. Now it's time for scale. And then what I've got is I can begin over at 270, 365, start to really scale the business, because now instead of losing money, if you've got a platform where you're not good with finances, as an example, right, and that looks like it's all over the place, we're going to help you do this. We're going to say, how do we take, a percentage, 0.5% to 1% per month off the bottom line? And how do I increase between 1 to 3% on the top end, right? Once again, this is through incremental compounding growth. Very, very important. So effectively what happens within the strategy session is we talk about these three key platforms. At UpCoach, what we've done is we've created the visioneering process. Let's get really clear about what your goals are. And then how do we reverse engineer them over 90-day blocks? How do we set goals within the 90 days? How do we start to secure the platform within the first 90 days? Make sure that the lead flow is good, the conversion is good. These are both lifelines for your business, right? How do we start to systemize the business to save you time, get you off the tools, start to, be more efficient, start to not leak money, start to increase time and increase money through efficiency. And then finally, how do we scale? And the scale is literally input versus output. You can never have so much business that you're just falling by the wayside. You're making mistakes. You can't get personnel. This is going to be a mess in your business. So I want to make sure that we're building on a solid foundation. As you can see, we like that to a pyramid where it's got a really good solid foundation, and then I can start to build according to what I need with the business. And that's pretty much what happens, within the strategy session. What we've created within the strategy session itself is that it's going to be fun, that you're really going to enjoy the process, that you get to connect with us, ask questions between us, and then we take you through this process. Now, on top of that, we're going to address any particular challenges that you may have, things that you need to cover in the business. It usually takes about 60 minutes. We record all of it for you so you can, view it later. And if you want to have, part of your team there, or some people, let's say husband or wife or business partner, whatever it is, on there, hey, we're more than happy to absolutely serve you with this. So go ahead, simply, book in your strategy session with us. We'll get back to you, set up a time that's suitable, and we're happy to do these after hours as well. We know people are busy during the day, so it's a really good experience. They're free of charge, most importantly, and I know 100% you're going to walk away with some really good applicable knowledge that you can put into your business, because on top of this, we're answering questions that you may have, and most importantly, showing you how you can put it into your business as well. All right, I'm Nick, and look forward to seeing you on the strategy session.